Magic. Sorry, guys. Hey, Magic Makers. I'm Mom Birella.
I'm Yukita Cosplay.
And I'm DJ Peterson. Welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Apparently, Mommy went on vacation hasn't quite come back yet.
I don't blame her.
Get your wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good and we got lots of mischief today. We have author Amy Boyles and we're going to be doing a pre-recorded show, so we are not ignoring you. I promise you. So, Mombi, welcome back. Before we get to Miss Amy, Mombi, welcome back.
Thank you very much. We had a wonderful time. I still have my past me. No.
Yay. Mombi, by the way, has topped over 40,000 on YouTube. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. I haven't looked lately. Where are you at now?
Today I checked it. It was at 43,000, over 43,100 today. So
y'all, let's get Mombi to 50K.
Yay!
I met some awesome people on the cruise. And I had my my swag, so I got to give away some of my buttons. I got these new big buttons, and so of course they were so sweet about it. They're like, "Oh, we'll check it out when we get home." I was like, "You might show up in the videos, just so you know, because I'm gonna be sharing this cruise."
You're gonna be famous.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, today we have the fabulous Amy Boyles, and I have checked out her website. I'm excited to start to dive into her books. We know them myself. They looked like fun.
Oh
so I'm excited to learn more about them.
Good.
So Miss Amy, would you mind welcome first of all?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Could you kind of give us, those of us who haven't picked up your books, kind of a slight overview, because you have a lot of them. It's not just one set. There's a lot. I've kind of skimmed through a lot of them.
Start with the Sweet Tea Witches.
Well, apparently some faves.
I write paranormal books with magic. Obviously, that's paranormal and witches, and a lot of mysteries, a lot of paracozy mysteries. That's kind of where I started. Paracozy stands for paranormal cozy. So it's kind of like a lot of my books are like Murder, She Wrote meets Bewitched, or Murder, She Wrote meets Charmed. That's how I've always explained it. And then lately I've branched out into witch romance. So I'm still witches. I can't get away from paranormal even if I tried, but now like a straight romance story with paranormal elements.
And how many series do you have? Because the page kept going.
I don't know.
So many. The page kept going down.
I don't know. I'm ending 2 this year. Sweet Tea's not ending, so that is still going. I was like, don't take away. I'm not taking them away. They're good. They are staying. There's still a lot of story to tell with those characters, I feel like. I don't know. 6, 7, I don't know. Because sometimes I'll start a series and then if it doesn't catch on or people aren't really crazy about it, then I don't feel compelled to keep writing it, I guess, is how I would say that. Because, you know, you have to people have to want the stories for me to want to keep writing them.
That makes sense. Yeah. Here we go. So, underneath our books tab, we have quite a few of them. There's the Accidental Medium.
I didn't realize how many that you had done that I hadn't read until I started actually looking through some of your newer stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to get reading.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love the Sweet Tea Witches. And I love that you actually have like some of the audiobook readings available on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that's how I found them originally, is I will look for audiobooks to listen to, and I just happened upon them, and I was so happy I did. Oh my gosh. And there's so many of them now. I love it.
They're so cute. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
There are a lot of them. Yeah. And I've been slow about getting those audiobooks produced for Sweet Tea because there's, I don't know, 26 something books, and I've
no, there's 28. 28. We're looking at it now.
Yeah. And then I'm on like number 11 with audiobooks on those. So the audio comes out slower on those.
I actually got my husband to start listening to them, and he wanted me to tell you that he loves them, actually. So that was a high compliment, coming from him, because he doesn't listen to a lot of fiction. And whenever I do get him to listen to one, he won't always enjoy it. So I thought that was really awesome. I came in the other day, he was listening to the Halloween one. I was like, oh, that's one of my favorites.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, the one with Rufus and the Halloween. Yeah, at the time,
Yes.
like Groundhog's Day. Yeah,
I
that's a
love
good
the titles of your books. I was looking at some of them.
So fun.
The ones that were cracking me up were the Blessed Dear Witch.
Yeah, that was the first paranormal cozy series I ever came out with, actually.
What's it?
It was
Oh,
Witch
I was
My
gonna
Grits.
ask.
That made me
Yeah,
hungry.
there's Scared Witch, so Kiss My Witch, Queen Witch, Quit Your Witch, For Witch Sake,
Right.
Don't Give a Witch, Southern
Love
Fried
it.
Witch Myths. There's
Yes.
all sorts of like Lost Southern Magic series, Southern Ghost, Wranglers, Midwife, the Sweet Tea series you guys were talking about. There's
Obsessed.
Magical
Yes.
Renovation
Oh my gosh.
Mystery Series, 7 Suitors for 7 Witches, The Withering Mysteries, The Accidental Medium. So tons
So
of series, tons
there
of
is tons.
books. And I
Tons more. If
thought I
you've
was
read
a
any, there's more to read.
prolific writer. I have 19 novels. Hands down.
Oh, thank you. I went through a spurt for a few years where I published a book a month, and that's what
Oh, wow.
that's what kind of helps build that
Wow.
backlist. Yeah, I stopped
Oh my
doing that.
goodness.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's
You know, I did something with my YouTube channel where I tried to do a challenge. Someone gave me a video a day, and like that lasted about a year. And I was like, I'm so dead. I cannot do it. But it did help a lot. Did that help a lot with as far as like exposure for your books or something to get that many done that often?
Yeah, I think so. It's certainly what it really gave me is a lot of books that I can put on sale.
Yeah.
I can always be running a sale, or I have a lot of books to bring to be able to pull people in. Is basically if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Were
That's
they
awesome. Yeah, that makes
were
sense.
they like were they smaller books?
Oh,
Were they
just
shorter?
well,
pricing
they're about
like
50,000
quality
words.
versus quantity? Were they like
About 50,000 words?
smaller?
Yeah. All those are about 50,000 words.
Okay. So they were like novellas versus novels.
Well, technically, a novella is less than that. So 50,000 words, you're hitting a novel. Technically. So yeah, no, they're books. A lot of
Okay.
books.
So
I could
there was
write
a
it.
lot of work to do it
Yeah,
once
it
a
was.
month, basically. Yeah. So I have one question for you. How do you fly this?
Well, it's got a much longer handle, so you're not thinking
for
about
those, hold on.
fly
For
Okay,
those
this
who are
is the wrong
listening,
size.
for those who are listening, Mombi is holding up a
frying
cast
pan.
iron
Skillet.
A cast iron skillet. Yes, exactly. It has to be
Yeah.
cast iron skillet.
So you
So,
put
okay.
your butt in the skillet, and then you ride with the handle out
Is
the
that
front.
the way that they're
That's how
sitting? I'm trying to
Pepper
picture
wrote
this.
it.
I
'Cause
don't
they
even
had
think
a
I should
saddle.
spoil it. I think I should let all of you just have your imaginations on how you do it. I don't want to say what I think.
So
'cause
I
that's
thought
what
that
I
was the
thought.
most creative
Okay,
twist,
but hold
though,
on.
personally. So
Hold
they
on.
don't ride brooms.
I need you to
That is the thing.
explain to me
Okay.
what it is.
She's lost.
For those who are listening, she held up a cast iron skillet. But what does it mean?
Okay. So when I first started developing Sweet Tea, a friend of mine who's an author was just like, you just really need to put everything Southern in there that you can. So I just started thinking about everything Southern. Okay, what is Southern? Oh, an old lady who's like smokes a pipe and who has a shotgun. That's Southern, right?
Yep.
She's very Southern.
Cast iron
Yes.
skillets are Southern.
Southern.
And so I'm like, well, they're gonna my
Okay.
witches ride cast iron skillets instead of brooms.
I love it.
And
It
so
was such a
what
neat twist. I
what
love
you have
that.
to imagine is that the handle is like a yardstick. So it's like a broom handle. It's very long. And then I've
I'm trying
actually
to see
always
if any of
envisioned
them are
them.
actually writing them on a cover, and I don't see it.
There are none.
They're not on there.
They're not
No,
on the
it's
covers.
in the stories.
Better
You
have
have to
it
read the book to see the magic.
See, hence why I'm trying to figure this process
Have
out.
a
Okay, so are they riding the handle or are they holding the handle?
Flip it
That's
Are
really
they
the
like
question. I
extra
know,
large?
You gotta
I know
flip
you
it
explained
over.
it, but I still.
You
Are
kind
they
of want
like
them to sit in the
extra
seat, but I always imagine them flipping it over and sitting on the
Okay, see that. That makes sense to me. Thank you.
that's
I
I
have
how
thought
tried
her
to
butt was
figure this
in the
out in my
skillet,
head,
and they were like got
so?
in there, you know.
but it
Okay.
said there was a saddle kind of thing on top, so it messed my brain up. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. So question.
Yeah.
For those Southern girls, me included, I would include myself, and some of us have a little more junk in our trunk. Is there like an extra large pan for those?
Girl, you can have whatever size pan you need.
Make a whole
They're
griddle
huge,
right
yeah.
there.
I mean,
Just
fold them
making
in any
sure.
shape and size. Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to miss out on flying on a pan because that sounds like fun. I would flip it over though because then I feel a little bit more safe keeping it all in the pan.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
she does
it's
crash land her first skillet ride, or one of her
She
first
does.
skillet rides. So I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I would feel better
that
if
would
my tail
exactly.
end was in the pan.
I found that relatable.
a
I
little
was
bit
like,
of
that would
edge
so be
to
me.
keep you in there.
Sure would.
I mean, I drove for about a year when I got my license. Didn't get it till I was 18, and the first apartment I ever rented, I smacked into the corner with the bumper of the car, and I was like, yeah, no, that's relatable. It wasn't hard, but it was enough that it made a dent.
You're
Like,
gonna. We went.
Sounds
I'm never
about
gonna live that
right.
down. I'm never
There
gonna
was
live this
okay.
down.
There was one. There was okay. My
Oh, boy.
husband's cousin and I went to Walmart one year, and it was around Halloween. And jokingly, we picked up a broom, and she kind of straddled it. And she kind of like, just what do you think? Just off the cuff, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of don't like the color. Maybe a little bit more if it was kind of a little bit longer, maybe, and kind of a little bit faster. I don't. The last one you had was kind of, I think, a little bit maybe shorter. Like it was a little bit more aerodynamic. A lady down the aisle just about freaked.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like,
I've heard
she lost it. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
like
I've
try
heard
that
of
one right there.
pottering
And
where
she
they
put it
jump
on and
around
like,
with the
oh
broom.
yeah, that one's much better. That you need to get that one. That one's much better.
It's much sleeker. I'm sure that
We walked away with the broom, and the lady just like, huh?
like, did
It
I
was
just
funny.
see and hear what I saw and heard?
It's great.
I've seen really big skillets before. Probably not big enough to ride if you were like an adult, but I bet if you were a child, you could have them potter around the store with the skillet.
Put them in the cart and kind of.
You know what I mean? Where they take the pictures where they're jumping up and they're holding the broom,
Yes.
pottering. Like,
Could
what
you
if you had
imagine
a
that?
little
That's
child with a
heavy.
skillet? That'd be really hard, though. You'd
Yeah,
have to have like a
especially if
little.
you're heavy.
Be interesting though.
no.
I'd laugh.
Lodgestone, you know that
I'd
company
fall.
Lodgestone, that big cast iron company. I feel like they make just about anything, any size cast
I love
iron. So
Lodge, yep.
you could get it in any size.
That's
That is
awesome.
probably true.
So where do you
So-
get your ideas?
Oh, I have a world of ideas in this body. No, I mean, it's just like a whole lifetime of reading, watching. It's all in there. Plus, sometimes I'm also just thinking a lot about things. Like I was always thinking of an idea, or how can I get this to work, or would this work, or what about this or that? And then a lot of times I'll think about things that are popular, two different things, like two very different things, and then I'll put them together, right? So like in the romance, How to Fake It with a Fae, I thought, what do people love? Well, they really love Bridgerton. Okay, I like Bridgerton too. What else do people really love? Oh, they also really love A Court of Thorns and Roses. Great, I'm going to put those together, but it's going to be modern, and it's going to be witches and fae, not humans and fae.
Nice. Now, I haven't read that's your newest one, correct? How to
Yeah.
Fake a Fae. Okay, so when you say fae, you mean like fair folk, or
Yep.
Yeah.
what?
Fairies.
That's
Okay.
the one. Those,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
What?
there you go.
That's awesome.
No, the fairies.
The fairies.
She recently
I'm
cosplayed
excited.
what's her name?
Yes. Oh,
Rosetta.
yes, like on Pixie Hollow, the Tinkerbell movies, we did cosplays of the fairies, but not Tinkerbell, like the friends that she has in it. Yeah, that's what she
I
said.
was iridescent to Rosetta.
Yes.
See, we
And
were
we-
fairies.
We ought to do fairies next time because that way you can wear your silver mist because CJ's got silver
I'd
mist
say
too.
we need
I
a silver mist
do.
to come out.
But I did tell
Me
someone
too.
recently that we're doing Harry Potter at the next one, so we can't do it.
We
at
are.
the next one.
I have my Harry Potter, and because I want to use my wand with my little pocket, and I have that one, and it's a little bit easier for me to maneuver around with. But maybe the next one we can do the fairies.
The fairies are a little difficult. That is true.
They
'Cause
are.
the wings.
It's the
So
wings.
I attached my wings for the cruise, and like they survived. I thought they might not survive the travel, much less the actual wearing across the ship. And I had to like go sideways into the elevators the whole time. And if I went the stairs, people were bumping into me, and I'm like, I'm gonna rip my wing, but I made it. They survived.
Try having
I'm very
3-foot
happy.
wings on your back.
And yours are so much bigger. So imagine trying to get around in those because her wings are this big. Mine are just this small, and they were still getting
Yeah.
bumped into or whatever.
Mine are
Yeah.
large too. I have a cloak, but I
I
can
haven't seen
slip
yours
the
all the way.
thing
Like,
through. No, I can slip them through, and because of the way Silver Mist dress is, I have a cloak, so I can put them through it, but I have to still cut it through and everything, and it's gonna be
yeah,
they're
I
huge.
didn't. I
They're
wanted
huge.
to get rid of the straps. That's why I attached it to the back of my dress recently. But okay,
I
so what
can't
is
do
the?
that.
Yeah,
Mm.
CJ uses these phrases when she talks to authors to ask how they do their stuff. Is it
Are you a
planner?
planner or
There
a
we go.
pantser?
A little bit of both.
Planner or what?
Are you a
Oh,
you
planner
very
or
good.
a pantser? Are you
Pantser.
basically like my sister basically puts up a piece of butcher paper and kind of plans everything out? Or
Mm.
are you like me where you sit down and just type?
It's a little
I
bit of
never
both.
know. Yeah, like I never know how my story is going to end.
I generally know how they're gonna end. But sometimes there are surprises along the way because characters will talk to you and they'll tell you, oh no, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this over here. And so you go, okay, well, I guess you're gonna do that. And then you just and then we go with it.
Yeah, like I've had one where it's like, I'm going to use this character just for this book. And they're like, oh, no, 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 honey. We're going to stay in for the series.
Yeah,
I'm going
that's
to
what I was
stay in.
gonna ask. Did you have any characters that decided they were gonna stick around when you just had them for a short time originally?
I think Rufus is one of those characters. He got in
Definitely.
there and he stuck with me and yeah, and I just adored him. So I've kept him. um yeah, he'd be my main one, I would say.
There's definitely been some twists and turns with Rufus because he was
So
originally
many.
just a villain, and like there's some character arc there with him.
Character arc, and it was like a twinge of a hint of romance, but then it wasn't because he was like, I'm just gonna use you for your powers. And she's like,
And and I haven't finished them all yet either, so like I don't know if there's more to that, but yeah, like honestly, I was kind of thinking maybe. Yeah.
not trying to give spoilers, I'm gonna stop.
Okay, so you are giving spoilers. Spoiler alert. No,
Okay.
you
Okay,
can't help it.
because I've read a lot of books. I read a
So
lot.
you're saying I need to start
Okay.
downloading the Sweet Tea series, I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay, seriously,
absolutely.
start with the Sweet Tea Witch series, and then like, oh my gosh, I haven't finished them all though, so like I want to finish those, but I want to read the newest one too. Now I'm definitely interested because I love the idea of the fair folk, kind of thing, the fairies in there,
One thing
and
I love
I'm
to do is I love to write a villain that people can understand.
Mm.
They don't necessarily like them, but they can understand why they are the way that they are, and they kind of like, yeah, I get it, dude. I would be the same way.
Yep.
Did you ever write any that are like that?
Now, well, there's always the great scene in the book where the villain and the hero have the face off, and there's always the villain saying, "I could have been you," or "You could have been me," because that's like, I, it's a kind of just one of those big tropes where there is that face off. I think you probably see that in more like thrillers or whatnot, but yes, I forgot your original question, but I feel like
I said where it's kind of like as you're kind of like sprinkling and they're getting to know the different characters and stuff, it's kind of like a lot of times I'm omniscient. I'm third person omniscient. So they get to know the characters all the way through. And so mine they kind of know why the character is the way that they are. So by the end they understand why the villain is the way they are. So like, dude, I get it, but they still don't like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rufus is like that, I would say. There's a big scene in one of the books where he really replays, this is what turned me into turning away from the goodness in our town and why I chose this path.
Yep. I remember that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost kind of like Medusa's story, where she kind of is a villain, but she really isn't. Just how she got to how she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, but she isn't.
It's good because then what you can do is you can use that as a character arc and you can turn that into your anti-hero. That's how you start creating your anti-hero, right? It's because when you've done this and
Right.
suddenly, oh, now we sympathize with this character. Now we want you to be good. Because
But they're not.
reader's gonna want you sympathize with your villain. Well, now we want our villain to change their ways.
But they're not. You try. You want to. You really, really
Right.
want to.
Well, you definitely pique the interest in the villain, even in the character, how he changes as you go through, because they always start off kind of a flat character, it's just a straight up villain, and then as you get to know the character more, it's like, well, darn. It's like, I kind of want to know more about you now, but like, I still kind of hate you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is pretty accurate description, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think as people or readers, as humans, we want people to be good. I think we want them to lift up out of whatever badness they're in and achieve what they can is in terms of goodness and greatness.
So,
I mean, ultimately we do. We want it. We want the best for people. We want to believe the best in people.
You have a wide variety to your characters. Are all your stories Southern based, like the Sweet Tea Witches, or is that one specifically aimed that way?
They're mostly Southern based. When I started Bless Your Witch, no one was writing Southern in that in there. So that's just what I started doing. And then
I'm so glad you did.
Thank you.
Yes.
But that's what I think draws readers in partly. Some readers will not read Southern at all. I don't think they're just like, no, Southern, I'm not going to read that.
We have so much more sass and pizzazz, but fine.
For real.
Right?
There's
more colorful. I don't understand.
We're not boring.
Some negative connotations about the South. That some because I've literally
bless their hearts.
I bless their sweethearts.
I've had Facebook ads running and people have commented like, this takes place in Alabama. Oh no, for sure. I'm not going to read a book that takes place there.
Bless their heart.
But a lot of people do like Southern because there is, the idea of Southern charm and, there is
Southern hospitality. Come on. We all know that was incorporated.
Down south? Come on.
We would like to bless everybody.
And I guess not every character in my head always has a Southern accent, but I still put books in the South.
I'm just saying nobody retires and moves up north.
That's
valid. Well, and honestly, though, like, I mean, when you're in the South, not everyone has the strongest Southern accent either. I mean, a lot of us will try to get rid of some of that.
What you talking about there, girl?
I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I got no accent.
I don't have
I don't know where you're going with that. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy.
I don't know. We just
that's true. I mean, that's true too. A lot of folks don't.
Of your characters that you've written, which has been the most challenging for you?
In what way challenging?
Character arc way.
Oh. Well, Rufus has been the biggest character arc I've ever done on a character, I would say. Pepper is a big character because she's been in so many books and I've been inside of her head for 28 books. And that's, I don't know, 1.5 million words almost, or I don't even know how many words that is. I can't, I'm not really very good at math. Multiplying 50 times 28 or times 30. But she has been the most challenging in terms of, so this is what you have this is the problem you have when you write a long series. How do you keep making a character grow? First book, so easy. I got you, girl. I mean, I knew how you grew in book 1. Book 2 might be a little bit harder. You got to find another way. Book 3, book 4, book 5. So that has been a challenge too, is finding ways in which she grows where it's not just the same thing all the time. So now she's gone off and done things, and I don't want to spoil anything, but she's grown as a person just because her life has gotten richer. But now she's also about to undergo another really big change to the next book I'm writing. So it's yeah, and her family is not happy with her right at this point in time because she's done some things that really made them mad.
Well, then on the flip side, you're going to have to consider when it is time to end the series. I know I had those 13 books, and it was like 10 years worth of writing, and having to leave those 13 books was like painful.
Yeah.
And so, as an author, it's like you want to make sure to end it in a way that justifies it to the reader as well. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing. It's like you've taken them on this long journey with you, and you want to make sure that all of those questions are answered, all of those arcs have reached their peak, and that it's not it's not like the ending of Lost. If you
Oh my
catch my
gosh.
drift. If
Where
you're
you were
following
lost.
me, if you know, you know.
The title was
don't
like
wanna
the
go
answer to the
there.
question. What's happening in this? Lost.
You know, so it's like you struggle to make sure that, you know, it has to you have to bring it like all the way around enough so that when you do reach the end of the series that first of all it hurts as an author because you do bleed a part of you in every single one of your characters. But when you reach that end, you got to make sure that you yourself as an author is satisfied and the reader is satisfied and that it ended well. You know what I mean? And
See, but
that's hard.
as a reader though, I would read my favorite stories forever. Like it's like a TV show. You don't want it to end. You just want to keep
Honestly,
going. It's like, no, there's more.
You want to be like enveloped in that world and for it to continue for as long as you continue, like because you want to live in it, because you've loved
Honestly.
all the characters and gotten to know them. You've been through the heartache with them. You've been through the anger with them. All of the emotion, and you
You're
just
like, now I just can we
they're
just have
part
now
of
let's have a
you.
happy one. There we go. So I'm fine with that. Yes.
They're your best friend. You love them.
Like, their family becomes your family, and you're just like,
Yes.
no.
I wish my grandma was like Pepper's grandma. She's
Oh my gosh, so
She's over
so
here with the
cute.
shotgun at exactly 11. Is like, come on, Axel.
Have you been kissing?
Have you been kissing?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm jealous of her grandma. I gotta admit, yes.
I love her grandma so much.
I know, me too. I wish I had a grandma like my grandma wasn't like that either. Sometimes readers know the characters a little bit too well. I did get an email once from a character who told me, I don't know what happened in this book, but this doesn't sound like any of them. I'm not, did you use a ghostwriter for this book? Like, I don't remember what book it was.
Wow.
I didn't use a ghostwriter for that book.
Oh wow.
Wow.
They felt like it was outside of the canon, huh? That's crazy.
All right. I told her I was just tired. I said I probably was just tired, but it
Oh.
was like, well, you know, you get all kinds of
human
letters from people or emails. Like, yeah, it's okay.
They're fun. I love getting those.
Yeah.
Well, we have 2 minutes left. I wanted to thank you so much for coming. For those who are interested in what we're talking about and wanting to find out more, make sure to go to Amy's website. It's going to be Amy Boyles. Is it Boyles or Boyles?
Boyles.
Boyles.com. It's AMYBOYLES, author, AUTHOR.com. Check her out. Make sure to check out her books. Check out that long list of books. Make sure to check out the Sweet Tea series, is what we've been talking about mostly today, and enjoy it. Again, thank you so much for joining us. You've been a real treat to have on today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolute honor. Love you so much.
Oh, thank you, Yukita. Oh, thank you, all of you.
It's been such a pleasure getting to talk with you.
So next week we're going to be having, drum roll please, Glenn Harmon, the artist and craftsman.
Oh, yay. Oh, he makes these gorgeous
My drummer was so
pieces
dumb.
out of glass that like change colors. I can't wait.
Cool.
Y'all are gonna love that.
So get your wands to the ready, and Mombi.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't had a chance to yet, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure to check out CJ Peterson's channel because she's at almost 3,000 subscribers right now. Congratulations, CJ. Woo! And Yukita Cosplay on Instagram as well. We're on all the things. We've got the links below. And comment down below. Have you read The Sweet Tea Witches? Or if you haven't, then definitely you should. Tell us what your favorite paranormal cozy mysteries
Yes.
are. And till next time, thanks for joining us, guys. Mischief managed. Bye.